If you've ever made a product and thought to yourself, I'll figure out the packaging later, then welcome. You are among friends here. When you start a small business, there are so many learning curves. And who would have thought that one of the biggest pain points for me, as simple as it may be, has to do with packaging? Because quite frankly, life doesn't always allow for perfectly curated Instagram-ready packaging. You know what I mean? There are people out there who just genuinely, intuitively are good at it. Like they know exactly what paper to use and what images to use and what, baggies to put them in and all these things. And while it is by no means my forte, it actually is very much a pain point and part of the product curating process that I don't enjoy. I have found some ways to make the process a little easier for me, and I'm going to share that with you in hopes that it helps you too. One of the challenges of having a boutique space has been, how do I portray a product to a customer so that they know what it is instantly when they look at it? So for example, for many years, I have sold online and I can take pictures of how the product is used to communicate to the person on the other side of the screen what the product does. But that becomes a challenge when you're in a physical boutique space, or maybe you're at a market and you want people to be able to just walk by and see your products and instantly know how they're used. That way they may or may not want to buy it. So take, for example, these cute little acrylic paper clips that I am making for Valentine's Day and I want to put in my booth. I mean, honestly, the simple and easy thing to do is put it in a little package like this, all right, so that I can hang it on my slat wall and be done with it. But does this really sell to the customer walking by? I don't think so. They may just look at it, but what is it? Is it a paper clip? I think so. I would hope that they would figure that out. But anyhow, check out this versus something like this, right? Which one are you more likely to pick up and look at and potentially purchase? Obviously, the one that's well packaged. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you the process of how I'm trying to elevate something as simple as a paper clip with just simple packaging and not too much of an investment, because the truth is, while I want it to look good, I want to put it on my shelves, I kind of want to test the concept and see if it'll move, right? If people are going to actually pick it up and buy it. And then at that case, if I need to make more or even purchase them in bulk, I can. But I want this to be quick and easy so I can just get it on the shelves and move on to my next project. So, are you ready? Let's go. All right, let's go over here and check out my stash and see, what I love about this project is that it's the perfect scrap project. But honestly, guys, I got to share with you, if you haven't done this, it's life-changing. These are pot holders that I got off of Amazon, and it has totally changed our life here with the acrylic and keeping it organized. And it's working really well also for my scraps because, listen, scraps can be such a pain to store, and I used to have them in a big bin and they were standing upright anyway. I know, in theory, you want to keep your wood flat, like you see how I have it down here, but the scraps are they're so hard to sift through when they are piled up instead of like this. And this has actually been working really well. You can see we're actually going through the scraps more now because we can see them and we know what we have. And I have found that for my MDF and my True Flat, we go through it quick enough that storing it straight here has been fine. But then when I order it in bulk, then we lay it flat. But for the acrylic, what a game changer. I highly recommend. It's not expensive at all and life-changing. And look, it's all color coordinated. What is going on here? Okay, so I'm gonna go through my scraps and see which ones are perfect so that I can maybe condense my pile here. I'll do some red and maybe some glitter. So give me a few minutes. I'm gonna go through this and see what I want to use.
Okay, so for this demonstration, I'm showing you how I'm going to build this out in Canva, but you can use whatever you prefer, whatever, graphic design template software you prefer. I'm going to start by creating a blank canvas to work off of. Okay. And I'm going to make it a custom size. Now, this is a big thing. I can't tell you how many times I created a product without keeping common packaging in mind, which ends up becoming a hassle later when you want to package and ship the product. So the first step is to measure the little baggies that you have. So in my case, I took my little earring packages that I'm going to use and I measured, okay, what's going to actually fit in this? And I'm going to work around these dimensions. So for these earring baggies that I have, they are 2.6 inches wide, 2.65 inches wide by 4 inches. Okay, so I'm going to create a design based off of that. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import. I took a picture of my paperclip with a white background. And I mean, that's not necessary. In theory, I could just take a rectangle. I don't know why I did that, but I thought it would just help me. I preferred it. So if you wanted to, you could create a rectangle the size of your item, right? In this case, it's 3.5 inches tall, but I'll show you why I prefer just having it visually there. It just helps me see everything. So I'm going to get rid of this rectangle and I'm going to import the image of my paperclip. So there it is. All right. I've got my paperclip. And now this next feature, I think it's only available in the paid version. See how it says background remover? Sorry, that's what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to use the background remover so I have my paperclip. Now, you could also just crop your image and work with the cropped dimensions. This just makes it a little nicer to look at. Okay, so there's my paperclip. I'm going to try and crop it as close to the edges as I can, and then I'm going to make it as true to size as it would be on this piece of paper at 3.5 inches, which is the size that I make it. It's pretty big, okay? But now I know, okay, this is what it's going to look like on the paper. And now I can go ahead and design around it to create my own custom packaging. Now, you can have, let's say you doodle your own stuff. You could use your own doodles, or you can go and look at what Canva has available. In this scenario, you can see I already found some hearts, but I did floating hearts because I wanted hearts floating around. And then a bunch of different options came up. Right? So you can play with the options, resize them, see how well you like them, layer them to the back like that. And you can change the transparency so it's not as bright, right? Okay. So that's what I did. I looked around. I was like, okay, which little hearts do I like? Now that I'm searching with you guys, I'm not seeing it. But I will show you the ones that I ended up with. Let me go back here. So I think it shows me what I've recently used. There we go. I used this little heart, which is really cute. And this is the same set of hearts, but bundled together. And actually, if you right-click on an item and you go to View Collection, it'll show you all of the hearts in that collection. So, the same artist drew a bunch of different versions, but they kind of mix and match. So what I did then was I worked off of the hearts, but I also wrote in the text that I wanted to write. So I want to make it a Valentine's Day card. So I wrote, I'm stuck on you. And then now, because I know the size of my paperclip, I can size my font appropriately. Let me pick my font here. I'm going to go with Mary Kate. And I want to curve it. So I'm going to go to the effects feature, go to curved, and then I'll use this sliding feature to curve it ever so, just so that it's to the curvature of my paperclip, right? So it looks like it's on purpose. That looks good. And then I did the same thing for Happy Valentine's Day down at the bottom. But I removed
the curve effect. Centered it. Maybe make it just a little smaller on the bottom. I want it to be, oh, there we go. All right, that's how I got to where I wanted to be, okay? Eventually, I ended up with this, and I'll show you. This is where I ended up at the end, okay? And this is when I like to have my actual item because I was able to see, all right, I want a guide with these, see these black lines that I added in there? So you see, those are the slits. That tells me where I need to slice with my X-Acto knife so it feeds through and then people can tell that it's a paperclip, right? So I added those in. Then I can remove my paperclip, okay? Oops. Now, another thing that I did, I leave it white because I want it to print white, but I also wanted to see what would it look like if I put it on light pink cardstock. So this gave me an even better visual of what I was trying to achieve, okay? Actually, now that I look at this, I might want to change the curve just a little so I can center it more. There we go. And I'm going to lower this a little more. I also made this, I found that when I was making it, I needed to make it a little longer. And make it just a little longer. I'm going to duplicate it. And get rid of that one. Doesn't have to be perfect, but now I have a general idea. All right, and then so that they are symmetrical, I'm going to go to alignment, align it centered. I'm going to group it, and let me copy this one again because I deleted my last one. Okay, and that looks pretty good. I think I will shift it over a little bit. There we go. Then what I do, okay, is I come down here to this little, the grid view, all right? And I am going to duplicate this page. I'm going to resize it. I'm going to copy and resize it, okay? So I'm going to go to resize, and now I want to make it a standard 8.5 by 11. So if it's not in there, then I'll just type it in. Just a regular sheet of paper. Okay, so it's going to copy and it's going to resize it for me. And actually, I don't want a sheet that's 8.5 by 11. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this one here, which is sized properly. All right, I'm going to group it all together and I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to bring it down to the new page that's resized to 8.5 by 11. I'm going to paste it, and now I can duplicate it and fill out my paper to print as many as I can fit on here. See? There we go. I'm going to rotate this one. Rotate that one. And there we go. Now I can download this page. I just want the page that I'm working on. Click OK. And I'm going to download it as a PDF best for printing because I'm going to print this. And then once it's done, all I'm going to do is print it on my standard, Epson printer here at home. And now I have nice packaging. And if it becomes something that I'm going to sell a lot of, then at that point, I will order it from Canva or Vistaprint or wherever. But if I just want to get the idea started, this is what I do. This is where I start. All right, let's go ahead and package and put it all together.
All right, so then I'm just going to use these little lines here as a guide. For my little slits. Make sure I did that nice and firm. Okay, good. Then take my little paper clip. And, whoops. Done. Now I've elevated my packaging. It looks so much better. I mean, I could totally just put it like this, right? Oops. But is that really gonna sell? Is somebody really gonna be like, oh my gosh, I love that, you know? Versus, oops. Oh, I forgot it backwards. Like, come on, which one are you more likely to purchase, right? So I love it. I hope you guys like it and enjoy.
Well, my friends, that's it. It's simple, flexible, and there's no pressure to get it perfect on day one. Packaging is one of those things that's going to get better over time. It doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be functional, thoughtful, and give you the opportunity to test it before you commit. If you're new to the channel and you found this helpful, be sure to click that like button and the subscribe button so you get notifications every time I have a new video out. And with that, I look forward to seeing you here soon over at That Mom with a Laser. Bye, guys.